So I think I'm finally starting to get over my jet lag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite as out of it. I'm not as confused all the time. Of
How
course,
long?
on the other hand, I'm more aware of the fact that I'm confused about being in Japan in general.
It's been 3 weeks now, hasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mm,
I mean, yeah, it's been about 3 weeks, and I don't know. My Japanese is abysmal, more or less, and
right.
I'm studying it, but it's just really hard to get started. I don't know if there's like a steep learning curve, and then it gets easier as you go on, or if it's always going to be this hard. But
I mean,
you can't really draw upon past experiences of starting to learn a language.
no, of course not. I mean, this is your first time. You're not necessarily conditioned to understand Japanese when you're younger.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you start to learn everything, like anything else, math, chemistry, whatever, but language is just kind of there.
Do you feel comfortable about the fact that how do you feel about being here and not being Japanese?
Well, I mean, that doesn't really bother me. And I don't even know if I'm sure it affects me to a degree, but it's like that's superseded by the fact that there's such a disconnect with the language.
So it's,
I mean,
it's ultimately it's the language that's keeping you at this state of confusion or frustration, not so much the fact that you're in a new world and you don't look exactly like everybody else.
well, yeah, I mean, the displacement probably has some effect too, but the effect of being out of linguistic waters is so profound that it encapsulates anything that I might be feeling from being different.
Where is it hitting hard the most?
So that's it.
Where is it hitting hard the most? Of where exactly are you feeling the effects of your skills not being as up to par as you'd like to I like them to be?
Well, like when I have to deal with my boss, he's a nice guy, but we have two choices. We can either do everything in English, in which he's not quite up to snuff,
Right.
or we can do everything in Japanese, in which I'm certainly not up to snuff. So it's like a seesaw. Either I can be in, linguistic dominance or he can, but we can never really achieve an equilibrium between the two. So we're always kind of constructing the other as a child because that's the level at which they express themselves.
Is it getting in the way of your job because you can't communicate with him?
I don't even know if it's getting in the way of my job logistically. I mean, I'm still doing the job and I get the money and, all of that kind of stuff. But, on the other hand, not being able to express yourself to someone that involved in your day-to-day life, I mean, I guess it's almost representative of everything else. I mean, you can't express yourself to anyone, much less the person who controls your livelihood.
Right.